Hey everyone, so I'm back with another manga review. Well, I don't do much good for my other reviews. This review I find special to me as it's not only of my favorite DC hero, but based on my favorite variations from the 60s, as you already know who I am talking about. Like the title is obvious, so let's get into Batmanga. I am also going to talk about a little history of my Batman experience, which made me want to read this manga series. So let's get on with the history. So, back in 1996, the Batman TV series starring Adam West started a Batman craze in Japan. The responses to this, that Shonen magazine and its publisher got licensed to rights to make their own stories of Batman and gaining full consent to the original publishers of Batman DC Comics. But in 1967, the stories were stopped and never made into volume format. However, David Mazzucchelli, creator of Batman Year One, became aware of Batmanga's existence when he had went to Japan for a cartoonist convention in the early 1990s. He was told of the adaptation of Batman. This he pressed it on to a good friend of his, premier designer and novelist Chip Kidd. If you want to know more on the background, I'll put a link to a Wikipedia page so you can read more. But basically, they were able to resurface it and make the volumes for it. And so the Batmanga was made by Hiro Kurata. You might know him for 8-Man or Phantom Detective. Maybe you might not, but that's other works he did also. And so, October 28, 2013, the entire 53 Chapter 1 of the series was released in Japan as 3-volume box set, and for me, I have the translated volumes to the English of the manga. So what are my thoughts on Batmanga? It is very creative, I have to say. I liked the illustration, and mostly my favorite design was Robin's because I like Robin and he needs loving. Mostly he is just so cute and chibi. Yes, I'm going that far. Overall, I liked it how they created the new villains instead of the classic villains we all know and love, to get a creative flair from the original. And there were tons of great stories in the manga that these villains played a role in. Like Lord Deathman is seriously the most popular. I think you could say he is a Japanese version of the Joker of the manga. Like he was not only in Batmanga, but he was brought back to life in the Batman 66 comics, and including that segment in Batman Might's episode in Batman the Brave and the Bold, where he is going over an animated scene from volume 1 of the manga of Lord Deathman. I hate Batmite's guts, but he is annoying. But I got to some good moments with him to help the Great Crusaders. Most notably, characters who were not in manga original was Clayface. Well, all that really was created was the classic criminal getting temporary powers. And then there was Catwoman, but it was a he called Catman. But it was obviously he was based off of Catwoman. And one of the most common parts of the series was that there was a lot of professors becoming villains. And I think that kind of lacked it a bit. But either way, it was pretty neat for a manga adaptation. If Robin gets to drive the Batmobile more often than his 1966 American counterpart, then I'm okay. No offense, Bert. Some of the parts in the manga were colored, but not all of the pages, and it was numbered on the sides to help the reader keep track of where they are going. I do recommend this first readers who are new to manga to read first. So what had gotten me into the manga was obvious that started the Batman craze in 1966, the Batman TV series. Now you have seen I am a big fan of Batman since I was young. Who wasn't growing up with Batman? Captain America, Superman, Wonder Woman, you name it, Marvel and DC, I like both. I am in between. And so how do I found out about this? Well, I was scrolling through Google images of Batman apparently one night because I was bored and I couldn't sleep, and boom, there it was. Still, I didn't know if it was real because everything can be fake, but I found it was real, and I think about 2018, I was still in middle school at the time, and asked my dad if he would help me get it, etc. He did, as long as I enjoyed it, and I did enjoy it. I really loved 1966 Batman. I grew up with it, and it's my favorite Batman, though I seem to be the only one in my age that likes the 1966 Batman. I am 16 years old, as a matter of fact, at the time of this. So yeah, I am young, but I bet there are others out there who enjoy a lot of classics from their parents and grandparents' time. So yeah, I definitely recommend reading this book series. There are a lot of fun and interesting stories in these volumes, and they are well done. I honestly wish it had its own anime. Like, the segment in Batman the Brave and the Bold was great and all, in terms of comedy and so on. But seeing a full series of this would be incredible, and I definitely would sit down and watch it for sure. And I mean, they could adapt all of the stories, but seeing anime-only episodes would be fine too. Now I want to share some key stories in the manga that are very good. My favorite stories in Volume 1 was Lord Deathman, the Human Ball, Go-Gale Magician, The Man Who Quit Being Human, and I guess Revenge of Professor Gorilla. I like Dr. Faceless, but I've got a Miller here I want to talk about the most. In Volume 2, my favorite stories was Revenge of Clayface, The Hangman of Terror was a good one. Mystery of the Outsider was good because Alfred was in it. And then you got The Monster of Gorbet, which was, I think, the most funny because Robin was being lovesick and getting beat up by a girl. And it was mostly reminds me that I have heard that there was supposed to be a movie of Batman 66 vs. Godzilla. Though this is just a rumor, but it could be good, minus what they say about Batgirl being a damsel in distress. I could go one all day on that. I don't like the part of her character in the series where she gets in trouble and all that stuff. Especially when it comes to the Green Hornet episode. Oh god, episodes 51 and 52 of Season 2, what have you done? No wonder Watch Mojo put you guys at number 5 in their worst crossovers. At least Kevin Smith and the others fixed it in the comics. And anyways, that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed my little review, and anyway, see you around.